Hey Trickster, Patrick here, and I'm out in the park because frankly we have a warm spell going on up here in Canada, and yeah, I'm wearing a sweater and you're in Arizona and you're like, a warm spell? That doesn't look like a warm spell. Trust me, I'm not wearing a jacket outside. In Canada, in November, it's warm outside. And you know what happens when it's unseasonably warm? Yeah, that's right. Outdoor nookie! The gays love getting it on outdoors, and why not, right? You got fresh air, you got the fall foliage, it's beautiful. But you don't just walk into any park and hope for the best. Oh no. You gotta know what you're doing. And thanks to this video, you will know exactly what to do the next time you're looking for some outdoor fun. And speaking of outdoor fun, I got a lot of that happening on my OnlyFans page. Check it out, linked below. But let's start at the beginning. How do you know when a park is cruisy? 3 things have to come together to make that happen. Number 1, the park has to be frequented by the gays, meaning it's got to be close to the village or some kind of location that has a high density of gays, like a mall, a farmer's market, a Lady Gaga concert. Number 2, there needs to be a lot of nooks and crannies, little spaces that you can sneak off into so you're not out in the open, right? Bushes, little hidden paths, stuff like that. And number 3, it's gotta be quiet-ish at night because you don't want to disturb other people and you don't want to be disturbed. Okay, let's look at some best practices. Best practice number 1. If you're just heading out without a prearranged meeting, you gotta be 100% sure that the guy you've locked in on is in fact looking. You don't wanna be cruising somebody who's actually not looking. You don't wanna make somebody feel uncomfortable. You don't wanna be staring somebody down like you're Jeffrey Dahmer. But how do you know that? Well, the usual things, you're gonna make eye contact. If he's looking at you, you're looking at him, chances are pretty good. Unless you know the guy, you're not gonna just be staring eye to eye with some stranger in a park, right? Okay, if he's by himself, that helps too. If he's with his buddies, leave him alone. If he's with his girlfriend, leave him alone. He's not there for you. There's other guys, keep looking. Okay, best practice number 2. Look busy while you wait. And thank God for phones, because before that, what a nightmare that this was. I mean, if you have a prearranged meeting with somebody and you're there before them, you can just pull out your phone. You can pretend you're texting, pretend to be on the phone. There's a million ways with your phone to kill time. I've lost so many hours on Instagram and TikTok and all that bullshit. So use that. Now, if you don't have a prearranged meeting with somebody already and you're kind of just out there cruising, it's going to take a little bit longer. So make sure you maybe bring some work with you. Check your work emails. I don't know. But at least you got your phone. Because in the old days, what were the choices? Maybe you brought a book. Maybe you brought your knitting. And here's a hot tip. Dress accordingly and for the weather. I know you probably want to look like an easy slut who's out for a good time by wearing your belly top or your tightest little shorty shorts and stuff, but depending on where you live, you gotta dress appropriately. Trust me, you're gonna appreciate it. Maybe waterproof shoes and layers, because layers, you can put them on, you can take them off, and you never know. The weather can be unpredictable. And let me know down in the comments, do you get off on outdoor stuff? Yes or no? Why? And why not? Best practice number 3, know the secret spots. And so for this, you gotta do your homework. So obviously the last thing you want is to actually be in a park and find somebody and be like, oh, this is great, let's get it on, and then have nowhere to go and just be wandering around like asshole looking for a secret spot. At the end of the best practices, I'm going to be talking about really the best way to find those secret spots. But a couple of other ways are trial and error. I mean, you can just go scope out the park. You can find them yourself. I mean, it's not rocket science. Or you can talk to your super slutty best friend. And finally, best practice number 4, clean up after yourself. You're going to be bringing stuff to the park that maybe you need. Maybe you don't need anything, but maybe you're a little more high maintenance and you need a few things to really set the mood and to get the action going. So if you're one of those people that likes to bring a lot of paraphernalia and extra things to really get it going, when you're done, make sure you take everything with you, because it's nobody's job to clean up after you but you. So a lot of finding the right spot is going to be trial and error. Like maybe you're minding your business and then you notice 2 guys disappear into the bush. I mean, what are the chances? But it happens, right? Maybe you find a condom hanging from a tree. That's a good sign. Although they should have taken their shit with them when they left. But more likely, it's going to be your whorish BFF who told you where to go. It's going to be word of mouth. But gone are the days of guesswork and a failed night trolling a park with no results, because unlike Victorian times when gay men resorted to wearing a green carnation so they knew each other in public, now you can just use the apps. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Patrick, we know you don't like the apps. But guess what? For cruising, they're actually super helpful. And there's 2 apps that come to mind that are extra helpful when it comes to cruising. One of them is called Sniffies, which I'll go into full detail about this app in the video right here. But in a nutshell, Sniffies is literally like location-based. You go on there, it's a map, it shows where the guys are on the map, and it shows the cruisy spots in your neighborhood. So it'll show the parks, it'll show the restaurants, it'll show the malls, all of those things. So it's all spelled out for you. There's no guesswork. There's even a message board there where you can chat with each other and say, hey, I'm gonna be here in this amount of time. Your other option, of course, is squirt.org, which is kind of like a Grindr, but there's a whole cruise section and a drop down. It's all geolocated, so it shows you all of the cruisy spots that are near you geographically. And then you can choose one of those spots, and then you can talk to guys and be like, hey, I'm gonna head over in half an hour. Who's going? Waka waka. All right, that was a crash course on cruising the park. It's enough to get you started. The rest, I'm afraid, is gonna be up to you. Of course, you can always reach out to me if you have any questions. And this video was made possible with the generosity of my patrons. Patrons get advanced access to episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and direct access to me. And for a deeper dive into Patrick, why not sign up for my newsletter? I'll give you 2 good reasons. I'll give you 3 good reasons. It's free, it's full of fun stories, and I post deals there that you can't find anywhere else. So go to patrickmarano.com. But maybe parks are not your thing. Maybe you need tips on how to cruise the gym, for example. Well, you're in luck. You can just watch this video right here. And I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!